Astronauts Chris and Nicole are on a mission to Mars. They were only a few months into their trip when Chris suddenly died of a heart attack. Nicole is devastated. She doesn't know what to do. She can't leave Chris' body floating in the starship. It will decompose and pollute the air. I decided to freeze Chris' body. She uses the spacecraft's cryogenic equipment to slowly lower his body temperature until he is frozen. Chris' body is now a fixed component of the spacecraft. Nicole will have to carry it with her for the rest of her journey to Mars. She knows Chris wants her to continue the mission, so she sets her sights on the red planet. After several months, Nicole finally reaches Mars. She is the first woman to set foot on the planet. She builds a small memorial for Chris and then begins her work on the Mars colony. Chris' body is still on the starship, frozen in time. It is a reminder of the sacrifice he made to make this mission possible. Here are some questions about what happens if someone dies in space. How long can an object last in space? A body can persist in space for a long time, depending on conditions. If the body was exposed to the vacuum of space, it would quickly dry out and mummify. The body can persist in this state for millions of years. If the object is in a spacecraft, it can last for a few weeks or months before it decomposes. What happens to an object when it decays in space? When an object decays in space, the process is different from that on Earth. There is no oxygen in space, so the body cannot undergo aerobic decomposition. Instead, the body will undergo anaerobic glycolysis, which is a slower process. The body will also be exposed to harsh space radiation, which can damage cells and tissues. What are the challenges of body disposal in space? There are many challenges to get rid of the body in space. One of the challenges is that there is nowhere to bury a body in space. Another challenge is that the object cannot simply be disposed of in space, as this could pose a danger to other spacecraft. One way to dispose of a dead body in space is to cremate it. The ashes can then be stored in a special container on the spacecraft or returned to Earth. Another way to get rid of the body in space is to freeze it. The body can then be stored in a refrigerated room until a permanent solution is found. What are the ethical considerations for body disposal in space? There are many ethical considerations that must be made when disposing of a body in space. One consideration is the impact on the environment. The object can contaminate the spacecraft or other spacecraft if not disposed of properly. Another consideration is the impact on the family of the deceased. The family may wish to return the body to the ground for burial or other religious or cultural rituals. Ultimately, the decision of how to dispose of an object in space is a complex one that must take into account all the factors involved. Thanks for watching the following videos.